Notion formulas. Two words that make most beginners close the tab and pretend they never existed. I get it. They look confusing, the syntax is weird, and every tutorial throws 10 formulas at you without explaining why you'd actually use them. Today, I'm fixing that. By the end of this video, you'll know 5 formulas that cover 90% of what you'll ever need in Notion. How to do math automatically, how to calculate days until a deadline, how to show visual status indicators, how to track percentages, and how to combine text fields. 5 formulas explained so simply that you'll wonder why you were ever confused. No coding background needed. If you can use a calculator, you can do this. Let's start with the easiest one and build up from there. All right, let me set up a practice table so we can see every formula in action. I'm creating a new page called Formula Practice with a lightning bolt icon, and I'll add an inline table. First, I need some basic columns. I already have name, so let me add price as a number field. I'll set the format to dollar, so it looks clean, then quantity, also a number. Now let me add some example data. A t-shirt for $25, quantity 3, a coffee mug for $12, quantity 5, and a notebook for $8, quantity 10. Simple table, 3 products, each with a price and quantity. Now let's make Notion do some math for us. Before we write our first formula, let me explain how they work. In Notion, a formula is just a special type of column that calculates something based on other columns. It's like Excel, but instead of writing equals A1 times B1, you write prop and then the name of the column in quotes. So prop price times prop quantity, that's the whole concept. Let me show you. Formula number 1, multiply, the most basic and probably the most useful formula you'll ever write. I want a total column that automatically multiplies price times quantity. Let me click the plus to add a new column. I'll name it total. Now, for the type, instead of number or text, I'm going to scroll down and select formula. This opens the formula editor. It looks a bit intimidating, but don't worry, we're writing something very simple. I type prop, open parenthesis, quote, price, quote, close parenthesis. That's how I tell Notion I want to use the price column. Then I type the star symbol for multiplication, and then prop, open parenthesis, quote, quantity, quote, close parenthesis. And look at that. T-shirt, 25 times 3 equals $75. Coffee mug, 12 times 5 equals 60. Notebook, 8 times 10 equals 80. Notion calculated all 3 automatically. I didn't type any of those numbers. And if I change the price or quantity of any item, the total updates instantly. Let me show you. I changed the t-shirt price from 25 to 30 and the total instantly updates to 90. No recalculation needed, no refresh button, it just works. That's the power of formulas. You set them up once and they work forever. Same concept as Excel, but built right into your Notion database. Formula number 2, days remaining. This one is a game changer for anyone who tracks deadlines. Let me first add a date column called due date. Now I'll assign some dates. The t-shirt is due in about a week. The coffee mug has 2 weeks. In the notebook, I'll set this one to a date that already passed so we can see how the formula handles overdue items. Now I'll create the formula. New column, I'll call it days left. Type formula. This time the formula is a little different. I type dateBetween, open parenthesis. This is a function that calculates the difference between 2 dates. The first date is my due date column, so prop, quote, due date, quote, then a comma. The second date is today, which in Notion is just the word now with empty parentheses, now and open close parentheses. Then another comma, and in quotes, I write days. That tells Notion, I want the answer in days, not hours or minutes. Close the parenthesis and let me save this. And there it is. The t-shirt has 7 days left, the coffee mug has 15 days, and the notebook shows -3, which means the deadline was 3 days ago. That negative number is actually super useful because it instantly tells you something is overdue. No mental math, no counting on your fingers. Notion does it for you and updates every day automatically. Imagine this formula in your assignment tracker, your project tracker, or your content calendar. Every task automatically shows how many days you have left. The items that show negative numbers are screaming for your attention. It's like having a built-in alarm system in your database. Formula number 3, conditional text. This one lets you show different things depending on a condition. First, let me add a checkbox column called done. I'll check off the coffee mug and the notebook and leave the t-shirt unchecked. Now I want a formula that shows a green check mark if the item is done and a red X if it's not. New column, visual status, type formula. This time I'm using the if function. It works like this: if, open parenthesis, then the condition I want to check. My condition is whether the done checkbox is checked, so prop done. Then a comma, and what to show if it is checked. I'll write in quotes the green check mark emoji followed by the word complete. Then another comma, and what to show if it's not checked. Red X emoji followed by the word pending, close parenthesis, and save. The structure is simple. If this condition is true, show this, otherwise show that. 3 parts separated by commas. Look at that. T-shirt shows red X pending because the checkbox is unchecked. Coffee mug and notebook show green checkmark complete because they're checked. Now watch what happens when I check the t-shirt. Boom, instantly changes to complete. This formula reacts in real time to the checkbox. It's purely visual, but it makes your database so much easier to scan at a glance. And you can customize the text to whatever you want. Instead of complete and pending, you could write paid and unpaid for a budget tracker, or submitted and not yet for an assignment tracker. The formula structure stays the same, you just change the words inside the quotes. We're past the halfway point, and you already know 3 formulas. If this is clicking for you, hit subscribe. I break down Notion like this every week. 2 more formulas to go. Let's keep rolling. Formula number 4, percentage. This one is perfect for tracking progress toward a goal. Let me add a new column called target, set it as a number with dollar format. I'll set some sales targets. The t-shirt target is $100. The coffee mug target is $200. And the notebook target is $50. Now I already have a total column that shows how much I've sold. I want a formula that tells me what percentage of my target I've reached. New column progress type formula. This one is just division and multiplication. I want total divided by target times 100 to get a percentage, but I'm going to wrap it in the round function so I get a clean number without decimals. So I type round, open parenthesis, prop total, divided by prop target, times 100, close parenthesis. Let me save this. Round just means round to the nearest whole number. So instead of 90.6666, I get 91. Much cleaner. The t-shirt is at 90% of its target. The coffee mug is only at 30%, needs more work, and the notebook is at 160%, it passed its target. Now I can see at a glance which products are hitting their goals and which ones need attention. Use this formula in your project tracker for project completion, in your saving goals for how close you are to your target, or in a content calendar for how many videos you've published out of your monthly goal. Anywhere you have a current number and a target number, this formula works. Last formula, concatenate, which is a fancy word for joining text together. Let me add a category column as a text field. T-shirt is clothing, coffee mug is kitchen, notebook is office. Now I want a formula that creates a label combining the category and the name, something like clothing dash t-shirt. It's useful for creating clean labels, file names, or references automatically. New column, label, type formula. This one is the simplest formula we've done today. I type prop category, then the plus sign, then in quotes, a space dash, dash space as a separator, then plus, again, then prop, name. The plus sign in Notion formulas means join these pieces of text together. Save it and let me see the results. Clothing dash, t-shirt, kitchen dash, coffee mug, office dash, notebook. Clean, consistent labels created automatically. If I change the name of any item, the label updates instantly. Use this for creating project codes, file naming conventions, or clean references in your databases. It's simple, but surprisingly useful when your databases get bigger. Let me zoom out and show you the full picture. 1 table, 5 formulas, all working automatically. Multiply for calculating totals. Date between for counting days until a deadline. If for showing visual status based on a condition. Round with division for tracking percentages. And concatenate for combining text. These 5 formulas cover about 90% of what most Notion users will ever need. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember that prop means column name and the rest is just basic math and logic. I've put a cheat sheet with all 5 formulas in the description so you can copy and paste them into your own databases. No need to memorize anything, just grab the formula change the column names to match yours, and you're done. If you want this practice table as a template to experiment with, it's free in the description. Duplicate it and try changing the formulas, break them, fix them. That's how you actually learn. Once you're comfortable with these 5, there's a whole world of advanced formulas in Notion. I'll cover those in a future video. But honestly, with just these 5, you can build some seriously powerful databases. Check out my other Notion tutorials right here, and drop a comment telling me which formula was your favorite, or if you have a specific formula you need help with, let me know and I might make a video on it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.